feel good or bad when somebody starts losing their shit and sobbing at the end of your movie?
It's as long as I can move people, and that's to me is the most important. So to me, that's actually praise for the film.
It's an amazingly powerful movie.
It's almost 8 years to the day since I started writing this with my writing partner, Dan Farrens. Number one, I read the book 3 times. Number 2, the author is one of my best friends. Number 3, I wrote one of the afterwords to the Stephen King limited edition. Steve King loves this book. To me, the book has always spoken up about the powerlessness of children. And if there's one thing we all have in common here in the audience is we were all children once. And there were things we saw and things we did which we knew were wrong, but we couldn't speak up about. The book was inspired. Dallas Mayer had been haunted by the true life case of Sylvia Likens and Gertrude Banaszowski. What did happen in real life, there were actually fewer boys involved, it was girls. She had daughters who were the antagonists. She was convicted. She went to jail, I think, for like 20 years, was then paroled, and then died 5 years later of lung cancer. The events in the true case, which if you go to like Court TV's crime library, you can find there's like a 20-page article. The atrocities that were committed on Sylvia Likens, who was the inspiration for Meg, are far worse than anything in the novel, which I thoroughly recommend if you want to read it. It's a beautifully written book. Very, very powerful. And again, I have to say, if we didn't have a great director, we wouldn't have actually made such a powerful movie.
For me, I mean, it was really 2 things. One, it was based on a true story, and had it not been based on a true story, I wouldn't have done it. Even though the writing was great and the material, was very engaging, but that was primarily the reason. Oftentimes you hear cases of this type of abuse. At the time, we had a case of Nix Mary Brown in New York, a little girl, very similar, was also killed at the hands of the people who were supposed to protect her. And what's common in these cases is that when you watch the news, you only really hear the aftermath. You hear the abuse and a lot of the stuff that will sell newspapers and make people listen, but you never get the equation that leads up to the abuse. You never get the environment. You never get all the other factors that go on.